When the world goes quiet, the dark begins to speak. Listen closely. You're in Horrificial. The Calloway family moved into their new home on a still perfect evening in late September. The cul-de-sac curved gently if it was designed to keep people in rather than let them out. White fences gleamed, the streets were empty, and the air smelled faintly of something metallic, like rain on tin. A neighbor with a perfect smile waved from across the street. She wore a neat cardigan and carried a clipboard. "Welcome to Crescent Hollow," she said. "I'm Karen, HOA chair. If you need anything at all, we'll take care of it." She didn't blink when she said it. The Calloways smiled back, still jet-lagged from their move. They didn't know that in Crescent Hollow, the HOA didn't just take care of things, they decided them. It started the third night. Eli Calloway woke up to a faint humming, low and steady, like a refrigerator buried underground. The room was bathed in a pale glow even though the blinds were shut tight. He got out of bed and stepped outside. Above the neighborhood, a thin crack of blinding white light ran across the night sky like someone had drawn a line with a blade. It wasn't lightning. It didn't move, it just leaked. The light trickled down like glowing rain, but nothing touched the ground. It stopped right before it reached the roofs, suspended in the air like upside-down icicles. By morning, it was gone. When Eli told Karen about it at the HOA office, she just smiled. "Everything's fine. Mr. Calloway, welcome to Crescent Hollow." The HOA handbook was left on their porch the next day, wrapped in plastic. Eli's wife, Marissa, flipped through it. Most rules were ordinary: lawn maintenance, trash pickup, and house color codes. Then came the sky maintenance section. Rule 41. In the event of unusual light phenomena, residents must remain indoors. Rule 42. Do not attempt to make contact with the light. Rule 43. Do not look up for too long. There was no Rule 44. Instead, the bottom of the page read, "Everything's fine." By the end of the first week, the Calloways noticed other strange things. Every night at exactly 10:14 p.m., the neighborhood went still. No wind, no crickets, no distant traffic. All the porch lights turned on at once, and every neighbor stepped outside at the same time, heads tilted up, staring at the leaking light in absolute silence. They didn't flinch. They didn't talk. When Eli tried to approach Mr. Benson next door, Benson didn't even look at him. His eyes reflected the light like mirrors. At 10:19 p.m., everyone went back inside as if nothing had happened. One morning, the Calloways received a letter that had been slipped under their door. It wasn't from the HOA officially. No logo, no seal. It was handwritten in jagged letters. Don't let them make you look up. It's not the sky that's leaking. It's what's behind it. That night the light returned. Stronger, brighter. Their daughter Zoe pressed her hands against the window. "It's whispering," she said. Her eyes were glowing faintly white. Eli and Marissa pulled her away from the glass, but the whispering didn't stop. The next day, Karen and two men from the HOA arrived unannounced. They wore plain black suits and dark glasses like real estate agents with a secret. "We just need to make sure everything's stable," Karen said with that frozen smile. They walked through every room, checked every ceiling corner, and tapped the walls like they were listening for something. When they left, they gave Eli a small white slip. 10:14 p.m. tonight. Stay inside. Curtains closed. Lights off. Eli didn't listen. He watched from the attic window as the entire cul-de-sac stepped outside again, faces tilted skyward. The leak above had widened, now a long crack spilling blinding liquid light down like a waterfall. The glow wasn't warm. It was cold, humming like static. He saw shapes moving inside the light, long, thin, jointed things that bent the wrong way. One by one, neighbors opened their mouths as if to speak. The light answered. Zoe disappeared the next morning. The front door was locked. The house was sealed. The only thing left behind was a small glowing footprint near the window. Eli went door to door, but every neighbor said the same thing in the same voice. "Everything's fine." Karen appeared at their porch that evening with a new rule book. This one had only a single page. If the sky chooses, the HOA complies. Behind her stood a tall, featureless man in a suit. He had no shadow. On the seventh night, the crack split wider. The light wasn't a line anymore, it was a wound. The neighborhood gathered beneath it. Eli saw Zoe floating among the light, her eyes blank, whispering words that weren't hers. The featureless man raised his hands. The light poured down in a spiral. Eli felt it pulling him upward. Marissa screamed, but her voice was swallowed by the hum. All around, the neighbors smiled with dead eyes. The next morning, the sky was normal again. No crack, no light, no hum. The HOA newsletter was slipped under every door. Crescent Hollow is proud to maintain clear skies. Thanks to last night's compliance, everything remains fine. Where Zoe's room had been, there was now a blank wall. No door, no window. Just wallpaper. Marissa stared at it for hours, whispering their daughter's name until the words stopped meaning anything. Weeks passed. The neighbors kept smiling. The handbook grew thinner. Eli started to forget Zoe's laugh. The house felt heavier at night. Sometimes he'd see a glow seeping through the ceiling, soft and slow, like light bleeding through cracks in the world. He climbed into the attic again. There, in the far corner, the sky was leaking. Just a single drip of glowing light. Landing on the wood like a heartbeat, he knelt. The light pulsed. "Daddy," a whisper said from inside the crack. Eli's eyes widened as a hand reached through the ceiling. Small, glowing, familiar. Outside, the HOA speakers turned on. Karen's voice echoed across the neighborhood. Residents of Crescent Hollow. Everything's fine. And the crack widened just a little more. They said everything was fine. But the sky doesn't lie. If you want to know what happens in the next neighborhood, subscribe now and before the light finds you too.